Welcome students. We have started the new chapter heat and we are going to continue that. Last time we have studied about the latent heat of fusion, vaporization, the process of regulation and the anomalous behavior of water using the Hobbes apparatus. Even we have seen the example of anomalous behavior of water. Now we are starting with the new topic, dew point and humidity. About 71% surface of earth is covered with water. Due to constant evaporation of water, water vapor is always present in the atmosphere. The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere help us to understand the state of daily weather. The presence of water vapor in the air makes it moist. The moisture in the atmosphere is called humidity. For a given volume of air at a specific temperature, there is a limit on how much water vapor the air can contain. If the amount exceeds this limit, the excess vapor converts into water droplets. When the air contains maximum possible water vapor, it is said to be saturated with vapor at that temperature. The amount of vapor needed to saturate the air depends on the temperature of the air. If the air temperature is low, it will need less vapor to saturate the air. For example, if the temperature of the air is 40 degrees Celsius, it can contain only 49 grams of water vapor per kg of dry air without condensation. If the amount of vapor exceeds this limit, the additional vapor will condense. And however, if the temperature of the air is 20 degrees Celsius, it can contain only 14.7 grams of water vapor per kg of dry air without condensing. If the vapor contained in the air is less than that the maximum limit, the air is said to be unsaturated. Suppose unsaturated air at a certain temperature is taken and its temperature is decreased, a temperature is reached at the air becomes saturated with vapor. This temperature is called the dew point temperature. The vapor content in the air is measured using a physical quantity called absolute humidity. The mass of water vapor present in unit volume of air is called the absolute humidity and generally it has been expressed in kg per meter cube. The ratio of actual mass of vapor content in the air for a given volume and temperature to that required to make the air saturated with the vapor at that temperature is called the relative humidity. The percent of relative humidity is calculated as a ratio of actual mass of water vapor content in the air in a given volume divided by the mass of vapor needed to make the air saturated at that volume multiplied by the 100. The relative humidity at the dew point is 100%. Note this. If the relative humidity is more than 60%, we will feel the air is humid. If the relative humidity is less than 60%, we will feel that the air is dry. Note this, both the point. So during winter season, you may have observed a white trail at the back of a flying plane in a clear sky. You can see that in the picture shown. As the plane flies, the vapor released by the aeroplane engine condenses and forms clouds. You can see here the formation of clouds. If the surrounding air is having more relative humidity, it takes a long time for the white trail formed by condensation of the vapors to disappear. The relative humidity of the surrounding air is less. Either the size of the white trial may be small or it may not even get formed. These are few more examples. You can take a bottle of cold water out of a refrigerator and keep it outside for a while. What you will observe on the surface of the bottle? The water droplets is being observed on the outer surface of the bottle. Even same way, if we observe the leaves of the plants or the grass or the windows glass of a vehicle in the early morning, we see water droplets collected on the surface. Though this to observation, we sense the presence of water vapor in the atmosphere. When air cools due to decrease in the temperature, it becomes saturated with water vapor, and as a result, the excess water vapor gets converted into this tiny droplets which you can see here. The dew point temperature is decided by the amount of vapor in the air. Unit of heat. The SI unit of heat is joule and Celsius unit is calorie, and it is denoted with this. The amount of heat necessary to raise a temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degree to 15.5 degrees Celsius is called 1 calorie heat. Similarly, the amount of heat necessary to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 degree Celsius from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius is called 1 kilocalorie heat. Here the conversion is being given that 1 kilocalorie is equals to 1000 calorie and 1 calorie is 4.18 joule. Welcome students. Now we are starting with the next topic, specific heat capacity. Let us do the activity. Take 3 spheres, iron, copper and lead of equal mass. Put all the 3 spheres in boiling water in the beaker for some time. Take the 3 spheres out of the water. All the spheres will be at temperature 100 degrees Celsius. Put them immediately on the thick slab of wax. You can see here in this picture. Note the depth of each of the sphere goes into the wax. The sphere which absorbs more heat from the water will give more heat to wax. More wax will thus melt and the sphere will go deeper in the wax. It can be observed that the iron sphere goes deepest into the wax. The lead sphere goes the least and the copper sphere goes the intermediate depth. This shows that the equal rise in temperature, the 3 spheres have absorbed different amounts of heat. This means that the property which determines the amount of heat absorbed by a sphere is different for 3 spheres. This property is called the specific heat capacity. The amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of unit mass of an object by 1 degree Celsius is called the specific heat of that object, and the specific heat capacity is denoted by the letter small c. The SI unit of specific heat is joule per kg degree centigrade and Celsius unit is calorie per gram degree centigrade. If the specific heat of an object is C, the mass of the object is m, and if the temperature of the object is rise by delta T, that is the difference in the temperature degree Celsius, the heat energy absorbed or lost is important. Absorbed or lost by the object is given by m, that is mass, multiplied by C, that is specific heat of that object, multiplied by delta T, that is the difference in the temperature. Here the table is being given of specific heat for different substances. You have to note it down for the water, and for substance will be used in solving your numerical sum.